Happy Wednesday, Mount members and friends. Before we get started, as always, I want to encourage you to share this video on Facebook and YouTube and invite someone to call 804-203-9011 to listen in. Welcome back to our Lenten journey, Fasting to Get in Shape, SHAPE 2025. So far, we've explored the S, our spiritual gifts, the H, our heart, or passions, the A, our abilities, and how they work together to reveal God's divine callings on our lives. And so if you missed any of them, you can always go back and check out our Facebook page, 6 Mount Zion Baptist Church, Richmond, or our YouTube page, SMZBC Worships with an S. This week, we're turning the corner to explore something equally important and deeply personal. It's the P in our shape model, our personality. God gave you your personality on purpose. It wasn't a random roll of the dice. Your temperament, your ways of engaging with people, your energy levels, and your emotional expressions. All of it is part of how God shaped you for divine purpose. I know you've heard Psalm 139:14 before. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. That's the scripture. Fearfully and wonderfully made. That includes what? Your personality. You were not mass produced. You were crafted. And your personality reflects a piece of God's image in the world. In church culture, especially in the black church tradition, we sometimes uplift the loudest voice or the most visible person as the standard. But let's be real. We're not always wired. Not all of us are wired anyway to shout, run, or lead a committee. And today we're going to find out that that's okay. In the Bible, we see that God uses all kinds of personalities. Peter was bold and spontaneous. Paul was driven and focused. Jeremiah was introspective and deeply emotional. Some might even say melancholy. Jeremiah 20 of chapter verse 9 reveals some of his inner struggles and passion. His word is in my heart like a fire. I am weary of holding it in. Andrew was more of the behind the scenes type of guy, bringing others to Jesus. There is no one personality that God cannot use. God needs the quiet thinkers, the passionate speakers, the deep feelers, and the patient planners. In 6 Mount Zion, we need lots of different people. We need the sister or the brother who's the quiet member who comes to worship just about every Sunday. Many people in the congregation know that person. They know his or her face. They may not know their name, but that person is faithful. They're thoughtful. They listen more than they speak. They keep the prayers on the prayer list like it's sacred. In fact, they end up calling into the prayer line every Tuesday and Thursday. Actually, they've been on the Lenten journey the entire time. And when they end up hearing somebody's name, somebody who's recovering from surgery or grieving the passing of a loved one, that person is the first one at the door with some chicken or a card. At first thought, that person may think, I'm not doing enough. But over time, God gives them peace, and they realize that their reserved, gentle personality was exactly how God wanted to express care and compassion in the body. And so their presence is healing. That's ministry. So we need, let's call that Sister Loretta. Just like we need people like Minister Johnson, who brings a different type of energy, expressive and animated. Can sing, can pray, can preach, and always having folks standing on their feet whenever they're doing something. Their charisma is contagious. And then there's, let's say, Brother Marcus. He's a tech guy. He doesn't like big crowds, but he loves solving problems. He loves helping people one-on-one. For years, he felt left out of church life because he didn't usher or didn't sing. But when the church started needing help with virtual ministry during COVID, Brother Marcus stepped up. He set up the live streams and trained others and mentored a group of high school boys who were interested in media and production. Brother Marcus isn't loud, but he is impactful. He is logical. He's calm. He has an encouraging nature, creating safe spaces where others could grow. He doesn't lead from the front like Minister Johnson or comfort through quiet care like Sister Loretta. Instead, he leads by equipping others behind the scenes, guiding, mentoring, building systems that help ministry thrive. These three different personalities, Sister Loretta, Brother Johnson, Minister Johnson, that is, Brother Marcus, they couldn't be more different, but all of them have a place. All of them are vital. One brings comfort in quiet moments, another stirs passion in public worship, and the third builds up others through service and support behind the scenes. Each one demonstrate how God works through different temperaments to meet the needs of the church and the world. All three reflect God's image, just in different ways. And so a few questions to consider when thinking about your personality. 1, how do you relate to others? Are you more outgoing or reserved? Are you self-expressive or self-controlled? Do you cooperate to keep peace or compete to make change? 2, how do you respond to opportunities? Do you lean toward high-risk adventures, or do you prefer more structure and safety? Do you gravitate to people, or do you like projects? Do you prefer leading, or are you a follower? Is teamwork your thing, or are you more of a solo missions person? Do you like variety, or you like routine? There are no wrong answers. The goal is to embrace how God wired you, not how you think you should be. When your personality aligns with your passion, your abilities, and your spiritual gifts, you experience freedom and you experience fulfillment. You don't have to perform, you serve out of authenticity. Some of us are frustrated in life or in ministry because we're trying to force ourselves to be somebody that God didn't create us to be. That's why the call is today, be true to who God made you. Let's not forget Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be ye what? Transformed by the renewing of your mind. An even clearer way to say that is found in Romans 12:1 and 2 in the Message translation, which we use here at 6 Mount Zion, which puts it this way. So here's what I want you to do. God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life. You're sleeping, you're eating, you're going to work, you're walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing that you can do for God. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out. Now, that includes embracing your God-given personality. You don't have to perform or pretend. Let go of society's expectation about what ministry or success is supposed to look like. Just bring your whole self, quirks and all, as an offering to God. So far, we've seen how God uses real people like Sister Loretta in everyday ministry through her personality. Now, let's anchor that truth even deeper with more biblical portraits of personality in action. Each of these individuals show us that the way they are wired, the way we're wired, is not an accident, it's an assignment. Moses was hesitant. He was soft-spoken. In Exodus 4:10, Moses said, quote, "Pardon your servant, Lord. I've never been eloquent. I am slow of speech and tongue," unquote. And yet God used him to do what? Lead an entire nation. Barnabas, he was an encourager. Acts 4:36 describes him as, quote, "son of encouragement," unquote. Someone who built bridges between people, including helping Paul gain credibility with the apostle. Martha was task-oriented, detail-driven. In Luke 10:38 through 42, she was busy with preparations, concerned about order and service. Meanwhile, her sister Mary was relational, contemplative, choosing to sit at Jesus' feet and listen. Listen, a moment Jesus praised. Each of them had a place in God's mission, not despite their personality, but through it. Each week we've been providing you with a different assessment. Some have done Myers-Briggs or Enneagrams, but the one we chose for this particular series is Gary Smalley's Personality Types Inventory. It's in your journal, the journals you got at the beginning of the Lenten journey, and we emailed it to you. It's a fun and memorable way to understand how the various kinds of personalities show up and serve in ministry and in life. We'll discuss this more in the After Bible Study chat, but I'll explain a little bit more about it now. Depending upon how you answered the questions, you could be described as one of 4 animal types: a lion, an otter, a golden retriever, and a beaver. As we go through each one, you may find yourself reflected in one of them or in a combination of them, and that's okay. This is about insight, not limitation. Let's start with the lion, the leader. Lions are bold. They're decisive. They thrive on challenges. They're natural-born leaders who don't mind taking charge. They focus on getting results and moving things forward, even if it means ruffling a few feathers. In ministry, lions often initiate new projects, advocate for justice, inspire others to act. Watch out, though. Watch out, because lions can sometimes be seen as pushy or impatient when others don't move at their pace. Biblical example of a lion: Paul, a strategic thinker who planted churches, confronted systems, lived with deep conviction. In Philippians 3:14, Paul writes, "I press on toward the goal to win the prize." His intensity helped spread the gospel across nations. Next, the otter, the encourager. Otters are fun-loving, enthusiastic, highly social. They bring joy, spontaneity, and encouragement wherever they go. They excel in making people feel welcomed and included. In ministry, otters bring energy to worship, creativity to outreach, and laughter to any room. Watch out, though, because otters can lose focus or avoid seriousness when it's needed. Biblical example of an otter: Peter, quick to speak, eager to act, full of personality. Matthew 14:29 says, quote, "Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus," unquote. We all know that this was an impulsive act of faith. His personality made him both a passionate leader and someone who needed growth. Third is the golden retriever, the peacemaker. Golden retrievers, they're loyal, dependable, giant, gentle. They often avoid conflict and seek to maintain harmony. They are the steady, caring presence in a chaotic world. In ministry, they show up early. They stay late. They remember the small things that make others feel seen. Watch out, though. Those golden retrievers may hesitate to confront difficult truths or may stay stuck in routines. Biblical example of a golden retriever: Andrew, not in the spotlight, but faithful in bringing people to Jesus. John 1:42 and 41 and 42 says, the first thing that Andrew did was to find his brother Simon and tell him, "We have found the Messiah," that is the Christ. And he brought him to Jesus. The fourth thing is the beaver, that is the organizer. Beavers are detail-oriented, structured, meticulous. They love order, and they want things done the, quote, right way, unquote. They're often the planners, the record keepers. They're the rule followers. In ministry, beavers are the one that make sure events run smoothly, that the finances stay in order, and safety protocols are followed. Watch out, though. Those beavers can become rigid or critical if perfection becomes more important than people. Biblical example: Martha, focused on preparation, hospitality, and service. Luke 10:40 through 42. Tell us, quote, "But Martha was distracted by the preparations that had to be made," unquote. "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one thing. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken from her." None of these are better than the other. Each one reflects a facet of God's image. The key is knowing which type you most resemble so you can serve in a way that honors how God made you. And here's the takeaway for today. There are no wrong people, just the right people doing the wrong things. I hope during this series you're getting closer to finding what the right thing God has for you, because God gave you a personality that is beautiful, that is needed, and it is purposeful. Embrace it, use it, honor it. So, this week, I want you to reflect on a few questions, and we'll hear some of your answers during the After Bible Study chat. Seriously, I want you to reflect on this. What energizes you? Being around people or time to yourself? What role do you feel most alive in? Leading, supporting, encouraging, planning. When do you feel most you, quote? When do you feel like you the most, the best? When do you feel comfortable? Ask two trusted people how they see your personality show up in ways that may bless others. All right, this was another quick Bible study. We're done for today. Come back next week where we will be back for our final discussion, which will focus on the E in shape. All right. Until then, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself and grateful for how God made you. We invite you to head over, if you're watching on Wednesday at noon or watching Wednesday at 6:30 or listening, we invite you to head over to After Bible Study chat. Head over. Go over there. You can get there 3 different ways. Download the Dialpad Meetings app or go to meetings.dialpad.com/SMCBC or call 804-203-9011. If you're watching on Wednesday, we'll see you in a second.